Take that too.
Bring you back. Okay? It's not
whatever
It
you
is.
want.
You think it's fair?
Yes.
And you think it's fair?
Yeah, she can have whatever.
Hold on. Before we get into it, do you think it's fair?
I agree. Is it live?
Yeah.
I told Gabe it wasn't going to be live.
Welcome back to an episode of TDG. I am your host, Sean, and tonight we have some new special guests on the couches tonight. We'll be talking about dating, relationships, and everything that encompasses that, as per usual. But first, we're going to go through our introductions. I am Sean, 41, still single. Nothing promotes except for this channel and also my dad's channel. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, make sure you guys go pop over there now. It is called Finances with Uncle Nev. He's going to get your finances right. Just stay tuned. We got about 4 or 5 videos out right now, but more are on the way. So like I said, if you guys are drowning in debt and your finances aren't quite right, tune in. We're going to get you guys set up all sweet. To my left, we have...
It's Renee. I'm 38, I think. I always forget. I work in IT, and I've been here before.
My name is Ikenna. I am 31. I am married and also dating. And what was the other stuff that we get to talk about?
If you want to promote something.
Oh, yeah. My wife does a podcast as well called Shadow Side with Safriana. And so pop on over to Living Luna's YouTube for that.
And just real quick, what's your podcast about?
The Shadow Side one is like basically if you know the light and shadow concept of spiritual bypassing with like you go in, only think of the light, only think of positive things, and she dives deep into like kind of the more taboo topics with people who are wanting to explore that. So yeah.
Nice. And this person in the white shirt?
Christine, Sean's older sister, 40 plus.
Allegedly.
Whatever. He's adopted. Organization that I want to shout out, the Bronx Defenders. It's an amazing public defense setup in the Bronx. If you didn't know, the Bronx is the poorest congressional district in all of New York. They have patented something called holistic defense. Takes care of all a person's needs as it relates to housing, public defense, immigration. Amazing organization doing amazing, necessary work.
It's awesome. I'm a New Yorker, so
Okay.
Brooklyn though.
Just speak up next time. That's all.
That's how I talk.
That's not true. I've heard you.
My name is Freud. 30. Single, dating. Originally from Haiti. I work in IT. I used to work with Sean. Used to be shielding my eyes from his bald, shiny head, but you know, it is what it is.
Shiniest of magnificence.
No. It's shining of horror. But you know, just here to just have some fun. You know, he invited me, and I wanted to see, you know, what this all craziness is about. You know, and I still want my $500 after this.
We don't pay anybody here.
He does.
Thank you everybody for joining tonight. Appreciate you guys making the trip over here. Some longer or shorter, well, some longer than others. And
Still long, even though.
so we're gonna jump right into the fun tonight. I have picked 5 or 6 questions for us to jump into, and depending on where the conversation goes, that's where it's gonna go. But also, you know, actually, before we jump into any questions, when I met Ikenna about an hour ago.
I'm into it too. I'll see now. Jump into it.
You can focus on the knife.
Oh yeah. Get ready.
So you said in your introduction that you're married and you have a
And she's dating.
And I'm dating someone, yeah.
Please outline.
All the details.
All the details, yes. So my wife and I have been married. Well, we've been together for about 6.5 years. When my wife first, my wife has been polyamorous her whole life.
Can you describe polyamorous to the people that are stupid?
So polyamory slash can also be considered there's it's a large umbrella because there's non-monogamy, right? So monogamy is the dominant culture concept of like you are with one person exclusively, and then non-monogamy means that you can be exclusive with multiple people. And then polyamory is another realm of that. And different people have different meanings and labels for all of those realms. Similar to kind of like queer identities too. It's like, you could have 5 different bisexual people explain their sexuality in different ways, and you can have 5 different polyamorous people explain how polyamory, what that means for them. So yeah, so she at the time when we met, I had opened up my relationship with my now ex and met Safriana and determined that like I was not compatible with the past person, started being with Safriana, and has been with her ever since, and we've been navigating the polyamorous aspect of the relationship from there. She lives with her boyfriend. I
Oh,
currently
the third.
my wife lives with her
Okay.
boyfriend. Um, the person I'm dating is also married. Um, so
So you're the third.
so I guess I'm the third. I'm the third in both, I guess. Yeah, yeah. So
Wait, is that called unicorn? I'm still trying to learn these
no,
terms.
no,
A
no.
unicorn is who's invited into a relationship for specific.
And that's where you're with both people.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm not technically a third for like I am not with my wife's boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Did
he's
you guys ever live together?
I have not lived with her and her boyfriend. I lived um I lived with her for a bit, and then I started dating someone else, and then I was like and their lease was up, and I was like, might as well be a great time to move in. Don't do that. I don't recommend doing that. We're not together anymore. But so I moved that person in, and then my wife was like, it's, this house is too small for like 3 adults, so I'll move in with my boyfriend. I said, that sounds great. We live about 15 minutes away from each other, so it works out fine. And then, so now I've been living alone for about 6 months now after the other person found an apartment. And so, yeah, so I'm working on actually selling the house that I live in to move in with them. So we'll actually be working on living together for a little bit of
I'm
time.
so intrigued.
So many questions.
So many questions.
Million.
I remember a cousin. He's married. Or they're married, and they also are polyamorous,
Mhm.
and they have 2 homes.
Yep.
So one home, and I don't know
Extension.
everything because we don't talk about everything, but they're very open with how they live. So one is, I guess, where they can go and be with other people that they're with or things like that. I don't know the full spectrum. That's what I'm assuming from what I know of them.
Like
But
a guest house
yeah.
for, yeah.
But they're very happily married. They celebrate anniversaries. They celebrate everything. But
Yeah.
they also go out on dates and they meet other people that they have relationships with, and they're very
It's
happy.
exploding right now.
They're so happy. Like, if I look at all of my family who's married, they are the happiest. I will say that.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I can't count that because some other people just got married, so they're newlyweds. But long-term marriage-wise, they are, in my eyes, the happiest.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
You agree? You same feeling?
I would say that it definitely, like, I am definitely accessing more happiness through the honesty of it all.
And I think that's what it is. It's
It was in the middle of COVID. I was in the middle of grad school. We were all burnt out, and my nervous system was just like on fire. Did the thing where I wasn't accepting of my jealousy. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a terrible person for the fact that I am jealous. And it would just like, and what it feels like to accept it, and what it feels like to be honest about it, then, and certain friend, and that other friend is like, well, actually I have plans with this other friend, and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? You know, you might have that feeling too, like, well, I want
Jealousy is so real.
Mhm.
Anger is so real.
Mhm.
Why choose a lifestyle, right, that feeling jealous and I don't know what other emotions come along with it.
You had something.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it's the same thing as why people cheat. People cheat because they would have felt better, but they weren't. And it's like, okay, well, do you want to be with that person, or was it just an attraction? Was it just that you have something that you feel for them? I feel like there's hundreds of people in the world. You can't just always be with just one. You can. Okay. Um,
Navigating through the jealousy and the like all of that is worth it for sure. And at some points when I was trying any relationship, like you can determine to navigate it in a way that's like, how do I say it? It's so hard to like with anything you're taking an emotional risk with the dating world too. So it's like how are we gonna, if we had that mindset with everything, like it would probably box us in and not give us as many opportunities. So it's like emotions and boxes of like, this is a good emotion and this is a bad emotion, instead of being like, this is how my body is reacting right now to
I don't like to share men. Um, I don't share my car.
right.
I'm not a share. Well, that's not
I will feel like in a couple of months. And yeah, it's just, and it's necessarily want to share, like I don't necessarily want to have like a threesome sort of thing. Like I don't necessarily experience like me, my partner, and their partner. It's always like it's like a fun communal experience. It's not necessarily just like always like, you know, being in a relationship, being the person to like take care of the other person. Like I had a lot of misguided ideas of like being the one and moving through it to like become every, I'm a circle, you're a circle, we're going to find where we overlap in the Venn diagram of like our interests and enjoyment, and I love sharing that with people. I love enjoying that. So
I think because I was married for 12 years, an openness when they date. Like I just realized like a few weeks ago, it's like, I don't care if I date right now. I don't care about anything right now. I just exist. But and, like I don't have the energy to date right now. But
sound like you're headed that route.
I appreciate it. I didn't know that I am very jealous when I'm in a relationship.
You got some things you need to work on.
I realize I want too much from someone, so I need to reel it back. Not too much all the time, but like
This is how I am. This is how I'm in a relationship. If you can't handle it, please go ahead. This is the exit.
no
You
one
can
ever
leave.
says that. Not no
See,
one. Just saying like
yeah,
me.
true. Yeah, but nobody ever says that because, you're still in that.
Problem is I'm very honest at first, and I don't feel like whoever I'm dating is usually like honest. They're like, oh, it's probably not really that she really is clingy or wants a lot of time. Is what I think happens.
Eh, mm, give me at least a couple hours after we hung out that day. Like, I just need a couple hours to either take a nap, trying to eat something, or do whatever.
Every time?
I wouldn't say every time, no. Do our own things, but together. For example, I could be sitting down playing video games and you can be on the other side of the couch, just like reading a book or going through TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is. If you find something funny and it's like, hey, babe, so much time, and if I take just a little bit of time away from you, just for myself or for anybody else, how are you reacting?
Mm.
It's like, are you gonna be volatile to the point where you're gonna be and just be like, you shouldn't feel this way? No, no, I'm not gonna tell you that. I'm gonna be like, okay, what part of your mentality do you think that if me not giving you an hour, that wind down time and then coming back together, just like the cliche says, distance make the heart grow fonder. Okay, fair, right? Honesty is great at the beginning to know how to treat somebody throughout the relationship.
So I feel like honesty should always be there, but there's like certain things that are like you don't have to say it. Just don't.
So transparency is
Did the dishes and he fed the dogs. Or I was like, why was I so upset? Like sometimes sitting with that can cause you to reflect and realize not everything needs to be.
Subject of your wife wanting a boyfriend broached. Like, how?
um like initially we of course, usually it's like when you first start dating someone, even if you're polyamorous, it's like it's hard to juggle if you are dating multiple. And
Now, was that a conversation or was that more of I'm going to do this?
it was more of I'm going to do this because I have to ultimately, like, she was transparent at the beginning of the relationship saying for her.
Mhm.
And when and so I had to sit really long and hard about what came up when she started dating other people, because I would often be like, usually when I would see how people would show up for her in ways that I might struggle to show up for her, I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's why she's going after this person. That's why, I'd start to make these thoughts and like connections in my head of like, oh, this is what I'm lacking. And maybe if I don't lack in this way, she won't want. And it's like, that's not
Yeah.
why she's dating this person. She's dating this person because
So she
people are
is.
all different.
Mhm.
Like, I'm a different person, that person's a different person, and they have different chemistry. It feels different, but it also feels good. And so, and it was interesting also to like, there were a couple people that she dated that I was able to, she likes, um, so in the polyamorous community, there's multiple different types of polyamory. There's kitchen table poly, which is all, or KTP. There's parallel polyamory.
Yeah. Like,
And then there's like garden party. So basically like
oh no, I don't.
I know. So essentially like kitchen table means like you can all have dinner together, right? Like all the people can have dinner together, like
Everyone's aware of it.
everyone's aware of everything. We're all hanging out. We're all like,
That's what you're about to enter into.
well, I mean, we already have dinner together a lot. Yeah, my host boyfriend is an incredible chef. Incredible. Um, and like there's parallel poly, which is like you are dating, but like you're not necessarily crossing line, like you're not necessarily meeting each other, or if you do, it's like a nice friendly, like you're all hanging out together kind of, but it's not like we're all having dinner regularly. And
Sounds acquaintances.
yeah, like acquaintances. Yeah, it's like if you have a friend that, like, if you have a best friend and they're like, I'm gonna bring my friend over for a little bit, and you like see them once or twice, and then like they go off, and you're like, all right, that's cool. I'm not gonna be their friend, but like that's cool that my friend has a friend, sort of thing. And then there's like, I don't really remember what garden party polyamorous means, but it's like it's an in between, I think.
Sounds like everybody's at the same party, but you don't necessarily talk.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah. So it's like, um,
Semi-personal question. You don't
Speak
have
up,
to answer.
please.
Semi-personal question. You don't have to answer it if you're. Well, no, it's very personal. Do you guys require STD testing before you end? Okay.
100%. Yeah. There's actually so there is a non-monogamous dating site actually called Field. Um, and a lot of people put on their bio of being like, just tested negative, this, like, this was the date that I was tested. Yeah,
wow.
so it's like we make sure that we're very safe in those regards.
So everybody's got questions for you. So since you're married,
Yeah.
do you guys consider your relationship like a primary? Do you even hierarchy of the relationship?
Right. So again, there's like hierarchical polyamory that people can get into, and then there's people that like to be consider non-hierarchical. And it's like there's hierarchical aspects that of course you're going to have to consider, like if you live together or you share finances, or you're sharing a business together, or like partners in that way, sharing kids, sharing animals. It's like of course there's going to be differences in you're going to have to communicate about different domestic things. And so like yeah, it's going to seem kind of like primary because you have all of these different responsibilities and a life that you've already built together. And so that can be, and so when you're initially dating someone else on top of that, like of course they're not going to necessarily like they're you haven't known them for that long.
Right.
So it's going to feel different. But um you know, uh, she likes kitchen table poly in her relationships. I don't necessarily need kitchen table poly in my relationships. But usually, and so like that's why like with her and her partner, like we have really made sure that like he was her one of her really good friends before they started dating anyway. But like, so he's already like involved in it, and like, and we're all equal in different tasks. But like, of course, all of us have different responsibilities now. But it feels pretty even now that we've been together in this dynamic for, I would say, like 3 or 4 years at this point.
Oh,
So
yeah. So it's already established.
it's established. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. With the person that I'm dating now, like we've only been dating for a couple of months, and so it's like it's you know, they haven't even met, like I haven't met their partner, like you know, they haven't met my family, and we're both really busy, so we're like we're going to just be dating, go on dates, and you know, enjoy this experience, but no pressure to necessarily like meet the family yet, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna answer my next question. I don't know, I'm a little slow sometimes, but it sounded like that your wife had a boyfriend and there was another person that had I guess that was your person that you're dating. So I was gonna ask you if you had someone else
So
that wasn't your wife, but you do.
Yes, yes. So it's um yeah, it's we like to it's fun to like see the constellation of like who's dating who sometimes in the polyamorous community, because like you'll start to see like there's little clusters of people dating other people, um which can be fun. But yeah, so it's me dating my uh uh dating someone. That person is married. Me with my wife, who is living with her boyfriend, and that's currently
is he
like
poly?
no,
He's just like
no. He's
one girl.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he's
He's totally fine with it.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. Like there's people like that's the cool thing too in the polyamorous community is like there are people who are totally fine with like being with a polyamorous person, but they're like, I can't see myself juggling multiple people. So
It's like a lot of work.
Yeah,
It's like
it does.
it
the
is.
dating part. Like once you're established, it's probably a lot easier. But the dating part, that seems like a lot.
Way too many people
Yeah.
to juggle. I think personally for me it would be like an amazing thing to have a couple of people to just be like, bounce ideas off of, but dating multiple people like that, personally for me, I can multiple juggle multiple things, but people is no, that's a lot.
I wouldn't recommend doing it all at once.
Yeah.
Like I
Of
wouldn't
course.
recommend being like, all right, let's date like 4 people at once. No. And
I'm
there's
just
also a term called polysaturated. So it's like just because you can date as many people as you want does not mean that you're going to date all the people that you find attractive.
Someone new to it might try and do that.
Mhm.
It's like,
mm,
oh my god, like that's the part that's scary is if somebody does that because it's like, how do you how do you have a life outside of
you
five,
know,
6 people if you're saturated like that?
you just need a Google Calendar on your fridge. Just like today's Jeffrey's day, tomorrow is Samantha's
Do
day.
you have dates when you see her?
Mhm.
Since you guys don't live. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, we have like we try and have dates like once a week at least. We try to have family time at least once a week. So those are 2 times that we're gonna and then
When you say family time, you mean all three of you?
mhm,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So and sometimes even like we have mutual friends that will play like we play D&D together. We'll play, you know, like we have friend time as well that involves all 3 of us and then other friends as well. So like we'll make sure that we're in each other's lives a lot, and we then also communicate, and we'll help each other around the house. Like you know, her partner actually came over today to help me with like packing things and for a couple hours, and then he went back home, and I'll help them in their garden sometimes, and we'll have dinner to you know it's like
I have another question.
yeah.
Is there ever like financial help or financial assistance that's required, like through any of these partnerships or pairing? Like say like, oh, I'm late on my bill or my electric bill. Hey, can I borrow $100? Or is it just like you come over and help me, like you said, garden, you help me cook something? Is it ever I need a bill paid?
Well, the 3 of us just share a bank account, so yeah, so like that's yeah.
Be like, what is this? And
You
be
get
like, I
crazy
ate
when it
out.
comes
I
to
was like,
money.
Yeah, that's what I thought I would gonna
So
be. I'm just like, yeah, I mean, it's actually easier
so
to
you all
just
just dump
share a bank
all your money
account.
into one account.
Yeah.
How do you how does that get managed though? Like what if someone just like goes rogue one day?
We trust each other.
Can I
Yeah.
be part of
That's
that?
what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. The amount of
Because you can't trust me.
see that is just
I
so
mean,
hard.
I
You can
think
see a bunch
having
of
that
zeros
level
real
of
quick.
trust, especially with finances, is just like
And I know
it's
I want
amazing.
relationships with full trust.
That
I do. That's
Mm.
why I'm also holding back on it because if I'm going in with full trust and I can't trust you when we're trying to get each other,
she's a therapist. Maybe you want to talk to
I know.
her afterwards.
Oh,
Schedule some sessions.
I've realized that I need to go back because, but yeah, I always go in with full honesty. If I don't have a reason to not trust you in the beginning, I'm going to trust you until you give me a reason to.
Yeah.
That's how I've always lived my life, and it's hurt me in some times, but I've also gotten best friends from that. So, but dating now, only hurt me right now. And I'm like, why? If I'm being honest and like to share a bank account with three people is great because you, I mean, it's great financially because it's three incomes. That's what I mean.
I also don't have to. I don't have to manage it, which is like I think that's the thing is like there's that reciprocity.
Yeah,
Well,
but
that's
if
the
someone-
risk.
Yeah,
That's
what if
the
someone's
risk.
taking more than their fair share?
and that's what's scary.
Yes.
I would like to have three
You don't.
incomes.
That doesn't
so-
bother you? Well, give me your
Because
account.
I think I would get more crazy over the. I get crazy over the money before I get crazy over the.
Well, you just have to trust that they have the best. We have each other's best interests. Like that's what you just have to trust. And so if there's ever a time that there's a thing that's being purchased that I'm like, why, right? And then people can
What about if they take a vacation together?
they'll let me know.
Yeah, but your money's gonna. How are you gonna know if your
They're
money?
gonna tell me before that ever happens.
Okay.
They don't just take the money and run. Like they literally will like if there's ever a course that my wife wants to take, if there's ever anything that's like an extra expense, then we will have a conversation about it before we like
You ever shut her down? Be like, no, we're not. We're not doing that.
it's hard to shut her down. I want her happy, you know?
Very jealous right now. Financial status sounds good.
Yeah.
It sounds like people are getting time spent together. Like,
Do you want in?
I don't know that would work for me because I'm jealous. I haven't worked through my jealousy. I'm working on.
You can work on it in relationship if that person's willing to work on it with
I
you.
do agree with that too, but
And at the same time, are you
Yeah.
willing to
been-
share?
Financial polyamory sounds good to me, though. Ooh.
I like sharing everything except my house. So same thing. I like my space. I like my stuff where it is. I hate when somebody puts it somewhere else. Like, don't touch this. I specifically asked you to leave it alone, and you moved it. Would bother me. So there are certain aspects where I can appreciate it, and yeah, that would be really great to have a triple income to share with three people. Because sole income is not not at all.
Yes.
So I can see the positives of all sorts of sides, but I also know there's positives in monogamy and non-monogamy. Like there's positives in all sorts of relationships.
I got one more small question before we move on.
It's not small.
Apparently, yeah. What
Is there any debt between the three of you?
do you mean by debt?
Like financial debt, like credit card debt, loan debt?
Absolutely.
Chris?
Student loans.
I have student. Oh my God, the student loans are terrible. I'm trying to sell the house so that we can pay back the student loans,
Okay.
like and the credit card debt and all of that stuff. Like we're trying to.
No. Did anyone? Neither one of them bought the house, right? None of their money went into the house.
No. This was all me and my wife. Like she basically did the down payment with her late dad's whatever he had left in his that he gave her, and we used that for the down payment. So yeah, mostly her stuff came into the down payment, and then our finances have been working on paying for that house, the mortgage, and we're like,
Okay.
no, not too much.
Just your house, and you were going to use it to pay everybody's bills.
But isn't it? Wait, but
If you're
does she have her own place?
She lives with her
She lives,
boyfriend,
yeah, she lives with her partner.
but they
Okay.
used to live together.
Yeah.
And her money helped put down.
I need a flow chart.
that's awesome that you guys can communicate that much on that level to be able to make things like that happen.
Yeah. It's, I mean, of course, I say it as if it was like super easy peasy conversations all the time, but of course there's been strife in the midst of trying to communicate, and like, I can be very avoidant when it comes to having to have the hard conversations. It's like, just because I'm a therapist and someone who's polyamorous doesn't mean that I'm not struggling with those feelings of like, oh, I got to be vulnerable, or I have to bring this up, I have to, like, we have to have these hard conversations. But
Are you actually okay with it, or are you just accepting it?
I am okay with it. Yeah. Yeah.
They say every therapist needs their own therapist. Do you have like your own therapist?
100%. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
I was going to school for that once, and then I was like, I'd be self-diagnosing all the time because I just have no control over. Stop.
Please exchange numbers.
I mean, being self-aware as a therapist and actually, diagnosing other people are two different things.
It
Because you
is.
can diagnose somebody else, just like, oh yeah, I
Yeah.
got you, and then they say, okay, now here's the mirror, now diagnose yourself. Just like, I don't see an issue. Just like, are you sure? Just
I hate diagnoses, honestly. It's just, it puts us all in a box of like, well, these are all of your issues, and it's like, and then people will latch on to the issue as an excuse usually, and it's like, no, actually, this symptom is something for you to now figure out how to like accommodate and figure out tools to help this piece of you get better. And instead they're like, well, this is why I can't do anything because of this diagnosis. I'm like, yeah, I can get a soapbox about diagnoses.
Well, before you do that,
Yeah.
we're actually gonna jump into our first question of the night. But like, I know our first actual question of the night,
All these fake
okay.
ones.
the scripted one. Sorry. But actually, it ties into what we're just talking about. Do you guys believe that everyone should go to or needs therapy?
Yep.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Next,
Hell yes.
next question.
1,000% yes.
Multiple
I
times.
I don't.
But I've
What?
only been to therapy multiple times in
Wait,
my
are you in
adult
therapy?
life.
No,
I-
but
have you
I'm not against
have
it.
you been in therapy?
Yes.
Huh.
And I don't think you need therapy all the time.
Uh-huh.
Like you have sections of times in your life where it's important and helpful,
Hmm.
and you might go years without therapy. Like it's all about what you're going through in the moment, which is why I said I'm in the moment right now.
My therapy is just stuffing it way, way down deep,
That's a terrible
just
idea.
leaving it there.
That is terrible. I
That's a
did
terrible
that for
idea.
Except
time
it doesn't live. It doesn't
It-
stay there.
No.
It manifests
You just
in
does.
other ways that you don't see, that you don't know.
Superhero ways?
No,
What?
Superhero ways?
no,
Okay.
I wish.
no,
I wish. I'd be
I
so
wish.
strong.
I know.
no. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, me personally, I don't think everyone needs therapy.
Everybody does, because everybody has trauma, whether or not you recognize it.
I think it comes down to if you can deal with your trauma, though. I don't think
If
everyone
you know
needs,
how to deal with your trauma.
right, and I don't think everyone needs to help to deal with their trauma. I'm not saying people don't have trauma. Everyone does. Yes, I agree with you. But do you need to talk to someone who is accredited or has gotten there? You said master's it was
Not necessarily.
or graduate?
Yeah.
Graduate degree, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I think you just said something very important because therapy doesn't have to necessarily be a therapist or psychologist. It could be talking to your friend.
Right.
That is still therapy.
Eh,
In my mind, communicating or letting out your feelings, and not officially. It's not on
Yeah.
paper. But I feel like even spa days, that's self therapy. There's so many ways.
Girl, that is not helping. Stop there.
So
therapy?
I mean,
No.
maybe sauna or something. That's his piece. I don't know.
no.
So Sean needs therapy.
No,
Yes, you do.
I'm fine.
The idea of therapy is it could be multiple ways you can find it. I believe in therapists and psychologists, but not everybody does.
I'm just well aware that everybody sucks. Not everybody, most people suck. Sorry, and I'm okay with that.
If everybody sucks, what about this room? There's a bunch of us.
I mean, people
And
do
what-
suck. It's the
To do with you not getting therapy.
Because I've set in my mind a certain benchmark that if it exceeds that, it might bother me, but most things just don't bother me because I'm aware of how the work. I'm aware of how the world works, and it just doesn't really bother me for the most part, except when I'm driving to work on 270. That bothers me. I use that.
what about it bothers you?
What you
Oh,
asked.
man. Oh, no,
I like
no.
order. Actually, yeah, I do like order, and it just there's certain times for chaos, but
Mhm.
not when you're driving.
Mm.
And for me, it grinds my gears when someone's in the fast lane
Oh my
going the
God.
speed
We're
limit.
not here to talk about this.
Hey,
Let's
it's
move
my
on.
podcast. It's probably my
I can't. I understand that things happen, but I don't like
I
chaos.
don't either.
There's a time and place for it.
I don't feel like there's
I
a
can
time and
agree
place
with
for
that.
chaos.
I can agree with
There's a
that.
time and place for
There
it. A
is
little
a
bit of
time and
chaos
place
is
for it.
yeah.
Just a little bit of chaos actually just
It's a good time for chaos.
It's
control
happening all the
chaos.
time.
Yeah.
It's chaos is an issue when it's the norm and not
Yes.
the exception.
Yeah, I
So
agree with that.
Yeah.
what I mean is like chaos should pass. It should not be an existent thing.
Word.
No, sometimes you just need a rampage.
Okay. All right.
And this comes from Boston all the way down.
Okay.
Yeah, the stuff you got down in the side there.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's good.
okay. So I would have to say, right? I agree halfway through, and the other halfway through, I would
That's
actually
fine.
throw
It's
you out the
okay.
window for no.
I don't need you to agree 100% with me. It's fine.
No. So here's the thing, right? When I say chaos is, needed, I'm in control chaos. For example, perfect example, raid rooms.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Raid
Okay.
rooms,
There you
you
go.
go there, you get a sledgehammer, go at it. Control chaos. It is what it is. It is a form of therapy for you to just like let out that rage, right? But at the same time, you can't do it every single time
Right.
because it's like you're gonna keep doing it, but it's not gonna have the same effect. The first time you do it is gonna feel like so amazing. You're gonna feel so free, but then you still need to go to that person and sit down and have a conversation with either a professional. I wouldn't say a friend because sometimes friends do not know what the hell they're talking about, and they never sometimes do. And if you run in a circle where your friends are doing stupid things, and you say, "Hey, man, I feel really sad because my grandpa died." They're gonna look at you just like, man, don't be sad. You fool. Just like, what? No, no. Like you raised me for my entire life. I feel sad. No, but having the type of rage rooms for control chaos is always good. But then afterwards, you still need, I believe, a professional mind to speak to you. To just be like, okay, so this is what's happening. Like you said, I these are the boxes that I'm putting you in. These are the tools that
She's
you
not
need
putting
to.
anybody in a box.
Well, regular, hypothetically, hypothetically, they say, well, these are the issues that I see. These are the issues that you're talking to me about, and these are the tools that you can utilize to help you be better. You know, like you have major anxiety. What root is your anxiety in? Just like is it trauma? Is it something that you went through and experienced? All of that, right? But that's why I half agree with Sean and half disagreed where I would throw him out the window. Because you can't tell me you're gonna bottle it up. One day it's gonna like explode. And no. You know where it's gonna explode? It's gonna explode.
Right.
So here's the
Talk
thing,
to
right?
him about that
Feelings.
response.
No.
That textbook
So no.
response.
So here's the thing, right, Sean?
Mhm.
You say that what grinds your gears is
Yeah.
going down on 270,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Perfect example. I hate going down on 270. We both work in DC. And sometimes I drive all the way down to DC. There are some aspects where I will literally just be like, I swear, I will throw you out the window of your car if somebody cut me off the wrong way, right?
Gotcha.
But at the same time, I've had people in the passenger seat with me or on the phone. I'm having a regular conversation. It's like, oh yeah, no. Friday, we definitely gotta go to, that supermarket. And somebody cut me off and I cursed them out, hell and high water. And I go back to my conversation like nothing happened.
Yeah.
People have told me, how do you do that? I'm just like, it's best for me to get it out verbally rather than me getting out physically.
Hmm.
One day, you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna get so angry. It's gonna grind your gears so much.
No.
Like, see, here's the thing, right? It's gonna happen so consistently on 270 every 2 minutes. It's gonna like load you up. It's either you're gonna have to move off the highway or you're gonna do something so drastic, you're gonna come out of it just like, I have no idea where this came from.
I don't suffer from that.
Oh, Lord.
I'm not even trying.
Because it has not happened does
No.
not mean it's not going to
No,
happen.
because I'm always thinking like, what is the outcome of my actions before I take those said actions? Because sure, there's lots of times I've wanted to run people off the road or pit maneuver them. I don't because I think about the actions of sorry, my consequences of the act.
Yeah.
Yeah, consequences of my actions. Yes, of what would happen if I did that. It doesn't stop me from thinking that, but I don't act on it, and I think that's fine. For our example of being on 270,
Okay.
I'm always in control of myself. I mean, I think there was one time actually, when we were younger, I don't know what we were fighting about.
I beat the shit out of
No,
her.
you certainly did not.
Did my mother was like, "It's your brother. Why did you do that?"
Lying.
Because I was angry.
Anyways, there was something we was fighting about in the filming room, and I've always been stronger than her, but for whatever reason, she didn't believe. But anyways, this time we was fighting on the floor, and I was on top of her, and she started digging her nails into my arms or whatever it was, like pulling skin out.
Beat
So I was like, you know what? I started choking her out. Yes, I
Hey,
did.
hey,
Yes, I did. I
yeah.
started choking you out, but I stopped. Not because I didn't want to get in trouble. That's why I
Self
stopped.
control.
It was, yeah, because I knew that if I choked her out and she passed out, my parents found out, it wasn't worth the beat.
But self control, you wouldn't have gotten to the choking out part. You would have figured out a solution to the issue before you got there.
Yeah.
No, not with this one.
No, but see, in any situation, it's actually that self-control. It's not like I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, if I throw this bottle at this person's car, how fast can I drive the highway to get away?
Mhm.
I have thought of it. I'm just like,
I think we all
it's not
run
worth it.
scenarios on 270.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely.
Once I've gotten it out, and I'm like, okay, that's what would happen.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I mean, like, having, but yeah, having self-control doesn't mean that in the midst of it all that you're doing it, you're just like, wait, hold up. I don't want to go past this point. It's you've already passed the point of losing control. It's just midway through, you're just like, wait, hold up. Did I lose control? I need to wind back.
Yeah.
Like I need to push it
You
back
can go all the
down.
way.
Like that's still losing control though.
Okay, so when it comes to like, I oh, damn it.
Party foul. And you're fine.
All right. Well, this is a great example of not losing your cool. Because actually, this is perfect because this is one of the things that I know for a fact that I've had nervous system reactions over, right? Like I know for a fact. So when you're talking about control, right? Like I have control over this. You our minds are beautiful and have a lot of it. Do you feel like you know what like when you're like, oh, my mind is thinking all of this while I'm driving down 270? Do you have any idea what your body is feeling during that time?
As far as what?
Yeah, that's a good question, right?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of tension, in terms of like any sensation, right? Like, do you notice your chest being tight? Do you notice your fist clenching? Do you notice yourself sweating? Do you notice like any of that stuff happening? Because that is your body reacting to it, and then your mind a lot of times is like, oh my gosh, I'm going to interpret this feeling of rage, anger, whatever, to be this external person that caused it because yes, technically they did, but the only thing that you feel like you can solve with that is by going and taking care of that external thing that happened, when in fact the thing that's currently being messed with is your body. And so you can't get like yes, technically your mind is going to be a little more at ease if you take care of the external thing of like, oh, I'm going to fantasize about like beating the shit out of this person. This is going to be great. Sure, that'll help you with a little bit, but at the same time it's like what are you doing to help the tension in your body, because that is going to allow your mind to get clearer.
I'm glad you asked that because now it does make sense. I've noticed I have been grinding my teeth a lot more.
See why you need therapy?
My therapy is chewing gum.
Answer the
No.
question.
Got it handled.
It's called a crutch.
Yeah.
No, I think we said with the body, doing certain things to compensate. That makes more sense now. 'Cause I do have like a pack of gum in my door of my car, and I don't just pop a piece of gum in there as I'm driving. It just, you know, usually I pop it in before I get out my car to go hop on the train, just because I don't know. It's just now it's a habit.
Yeah.
But like I said, I've been noticing that I have been grinding my teeth more.
My body temperature rises to the point where people actually feel the change in the car. Like I've had multiple passengers sitting next to me say, you got angry so much that it actually I feel hot
You're
and the
radiating.
AC's on.
Wow.
And I'm just like, I'm sorry. And I had to literally pull the windows down for air circulation to happen, for them to actually just like, okay, okay. And I've always told people this. I'm technically the only child on my mother's side. I do have rage issues.
Hmm.
I keep them in check. I try to keep them in check.
Mhm.
I'm aware on when I'm like raging into my mind mentally, and I'm aware because my body gets so hot that when people touch me, it's like you're hot to the touch.
Mhm.
Is something wrong? And I'm just like, yes, there is. I'm gonna go take care of that.
And how do you take care of that?
Usually, what I do is I find the root of the problem or the reason why I'm angry or why I'm raging.
Okay.
And I'm just like, okay, is this something that I myself can take care of externally? Is this something I can control or is it something I cannot control? If it's something I can control, I usually in my mind logically, I make a plan on how I can fix it.
Mm.
If it's something that I cannot control, I'm just like, okay, it's something that I cannot control. How can I actually work through it to make sure that whatever the outcome is not going to affect me so much where I'm just going to have that same feeling again.
Yeah. And that is where you can actually go into a place of, because you will be affected again. I think that's the thing too, is like we've tried to figure out all of the ways to like weave and dodge out of situations to where we won't be feeling that anger again.
Of course.
And it's like you're gonna feel that anger again. Like it's going to happen again in different situations. So it's like at that point it's like instead of necessarily dealing with like what are the external things I can dodge and weave out of, it's the okay, what does anger feel like? How can I deal with it in terms of how can I let myself express the anger? Because that feels way better than, shoving it down or logicking ourselves out of it.
Mm.
And so ultimately, like, Rage Room is a great experience, but also I've told people, I'm like, listen, you have a bed, you have cushions. If you need to punch the shit out of something, you can do that safely. If you need to scream, you can do that into a pillow. If you need to get that anger out in some physical way, like you can absolutely find other ways to do that. And so, and that also helps release the like feeling in your body. And then you can think even clearer in the figuring out like the external stuff too.
Yeah.
What was the initial question you asked? Why are we talking about therapy?
I don't remember.
Just
Oh,
if you
but
guys thought that people needed therapy,
Oh,
if everyone needs therapy,
yeah.
my kids use art therapy to keep their anger, and
Yeah.
our whole household. That's what we do.
Yeah. Art
Yeah.
therapy is awesome.
Yeah.
I have multiple adult coloring books in the house. Like personally, like yeah,
Yeah.
like I actually the person I'm talking to and dating right now, I bought her like because she enjoys like that's like her way of calming down
Yep.
like almost every time. I bought her like one of these Amazon coloring pencils. It's like 120 different colors. And it's like a whole bag. She has it at work and she just goes at it every other day. And I'm just like, yeah, it's a great thing. And I just do it here and there whenever I'm like at home and I'm just like, hey, I just need something to take my mind off of it.
Yeah.
But,
Mm.
there's multiple different ways for me to move out of, okay, this is how I'm feeling. This is the root of the cause. How can I actually alleviate everything,
Yeah.
right? It's coloring books for me. Um, Usually I have a couple of dumbbells and, in my room, I usually just like try to physical it out.
Oh yeah.
Best way for me to actually do it is actually cook food to where I would like literally look online and just like, I've never made this. Fuck it. I'm just gonna go to the grocery store and just be like, I'm gonna buy this, come back home. And that whole process of prepping, cooking, eating, the entire process just calms me down. The
It's because you're
only
activating your five senses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the only thing that I ask somebody not to do is while I'm in that process,
Mm.
don't interrupt me.
there you
Yeah.
go. I
Do
get it.
not interrupt me. Like I have had physical reaction to somebody walking into the kitchen to just grab a bottle of water, and I'm just like, you gotta be effing kidding me
That's a little weird.
now.
That's why I like
Very
my own
weird.
space.
Yeah,
I don't
to
like
get
people in
water.
the
I
kitchen.
mean,
Look,
it's
so
like I said, they're gonna ask you a question. Like,
no,
what
no,
are you
no, no.
cooking?
So here's the thing, right? It is irrational as it is.
Yeah.
As irrational as it is, it's just like for me at that time, space and time, that space is mine.
Mm-hmm.
That space is what calms me down.
Mm.
You interrupting it, or you're just your entire being interrupting it is like, damn, do I have to start over where I was mentally? Or how can I continue from here?
Yeah.
I have learned throughout the years to just be like, it's a kitchen. It's fine.
Common area.
It is a very much a common area, right?
Cooking, I don't treat it as a common area. Come get your stuff before I start cooking. Yes, because
Really?
you mess like.
That's the first time I'm ever hearing of this.
Oh, I don't cook very often because my kids eat all sorts of random things. But if I'm gonna cook and go all out and we're not cooking together, I don't want anybody else in the kitchen. You throw me off completely, and I don't even want to cook anymore.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's not even I don't even want to cook anymore. For me, it's just like
You want to hurt them.
no,
Oh.
no, never to that point. Never to that point. It's just more like, okay, perfect example. I am making a specific dish. Let's just say I'm making risotto, right? And I have to make chicken stock, right? If you come into the kitchen and you look over my shoulders, it's like, are you sure you're supposed to use chicken feet for chicken stock? I'm gonna look at you
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be like, okay, no, no, no. You already interrupted my whole vibe in the space, and now you're talking to me to
Mm.
make me think of something else.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, get out.
I get that because I get that when I'm building something and someone wants to ask me questions like, "You sure you're doing that right? Shouldn't put something else in there?" I'm like, "Excuse me, do you want to build this? Do you know how to build this?" So I
You
get that.
should take those questions because
What?
I've been on the other end of that. You should take those
There's a
questions.
difference in wanting to learn and actually asking someone, "Are you sure you know what you're doing?"
Well, there was that time that you were hanging my TV and I told you it was crooked and you were like, "No, it's not, Christine. Shut up. No, it's not."
Because
And when the TV was hung and you stepped back, you're like, "Oh yeah, that's not straight."
you like to make things.
So
My work is impeccable. So
How fast you're
okay.
But
didn't
I just didn't care what it was. Honestly.
yeah, no, it's like, different aspects of it. And like you said, right, five senses. It's definitely good to, see, touch, feel, and all of that, right? But, personally for me, yeah, I know it's like a weird reaction. Like you said, it's very weird. It's very weird if you want to come in and you're just like, hey, I'm just getting a cup of water, and I just look at you and be like, really? You want to do this now?
I don't feel like it's
Go
weird.
off.
I have siblings, multiple siblings. I don't feel like it's weird because all my life someone has interrupted something. Like this is my now I'm an
All
adult.
my life I had to fight.
I'm kind of middle child, so everyone took all my stuff.
I am not.
Weirdos,
I am not.
I feel that way.
but you
I'm
are.
the only child on my mother's side of the family, and I'm I guess, the youngest one on my dad's side. But my brother and I never interacted that way. So I've always had my own space. So it's not like I've shared my space with everybody. It's more like when I'm doing my thing, I'm doing my thing. And my dad, bless his heart, has known this throughout since I was younger. He is the one that has taught me to think through my problems logically, even as young as I was. He looked at me and says, "Look, listen, you're emotionally reactive and you're physically reactive. Something that you get from me and your mother. We're not gonna do that. This is how you're gonna go through for the steps." And throughout the years, as I grown to be a teenager, I think by the time I was 16, I saw my mom just blow out on something. And I'm just like, I never want to be that way. So let's go ahead and see how we can work through this. But having that self control and having that way of, okay, this is the root of my problem. This is why I'm angry. This is why I'm sad. This is why I'm feeling whatever some type of way I'm feeling about this situation. Is it controllable? Is it not? If it is, great. This is the steps that I'm going to take. Logically, I'll take it, do it. If somewhere throughout the process something gets interrupted, backup plans, they're always there for it, right? I might be the weirdest person alive when people meet me, just like, and they look at me. And I think Sean actually did ask me when we were working together, just like, do you feel any emotions whatsoever? Because my face is always the same. It's like,
That's
I
true.
do. I just don't show it.
Mhm.
It's a terrible thing. It's just that I just don't show it. Because every emotion that I know I'm feeling, I just know, oh, okay, I'm feeling happy because this person did something that made me happy. Great. I'm feeling angry because this person said something that actually hurts my feeling. Why did it hurt my feelings? Oh, that's right. 10 years ago, somebody said something like that that actually made me, had a traumatic experience. I was like, it's not their problem.
Mm.
I have to work through this. It's that type of self control.
So what happened to you when you were younger that you can't allow people to be in the kitchen when you're cooking?
It's just me needing my space, man.
You sure it isn't something,
No, trust me.
doctor?
No,
Don't call me doctor.
no, no, no. I mean, like, so here's the thing, right? Me not wanting somebody to come into the kitchen is not something traumatic that happened to me when I was younger. It's just me having that space for myself in that point in time. It's like,
Is it about control?
yes and no. I like to control my space, but I don't want to make it seem like I'm a control freak.
You said seem.
Hmm.
I don't say the same. So,
Sorry.
but okay, so like I said, right? This has been a couple of years in the making where I've worked through this myself.
Not quite.
Like I said, work through and still working through. Right, working through it, right? Because there has been some time where I really, really want to cook something, and I'm in the kitchen, and something just interrupts it, and I'm just like, God damn it, why? And I have to stop and go. But then when I come back, I'm just like, okay, there was no need to get angry. It's food. It will be done.
You're kind of scary, actually.
Would you say, like in your normal life, that you're a decent multitasker? Because I'm wondering if that's it. You're just not good at multitasking.
No, 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 no. Whenever I'm in the kitchen, it's a different story whenever I'm outside the kitchen.
Hmm.
When I'm outside the kitchen, I can multitask any
Okay.
time of the day. But because again, right, I'm not cooking because I'm just doing something throughout the day. I'm cooking so I can have my five senses feel better.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Right? If I'm at work and I'm doing IT, yeah, I can juggle like three different tickets, people calling me on Teams, all of that. If I'm in the kitchen and I am trying to cut a carrot in a specific way and you interrupt that, I will side eye you, but I'm going to be like, what do you need?
Hmm. Okay.
And yes, I have heard people say I'm very scary, and I'm really not. I'm a pretty sweet person. It's just that, it's just that in that moment in time, it's like, just be aware of if I'm just walking around and there's a break, go ahead and ask me whatever you want. If I see you on the side and I see you just standing there, I will stop and just be like, "Hey, what's up? What you need?"
So, what is the best way to approach you when you're cooking?
To be fair with you,
Don't.
if
Done.
Yeah.
so, see, that was me a couple years ago when I said none, right? And don't. But now it's more like, if you want to approach me, tell me about your presence before I notice your presence.
Like,
How?
hey, I'm coming to the kitchen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come down the
Too
hallway.
much work.
Not down the hallway, obviously, but it's like you come around the corner, it's like, hey, what's up? Like, I'm just like, hey, what's going on? Like,
Don't walk in silently and just
yeah, or just don't tiptoe behind me to just try to grab. Just like, I'm just gonna grab this real quick. I'm just like,
Does this apply to your girlfriend as well?
don't have a girlfriend. Remember
Well, who are you
you said
talking
you
to?
dated.
talking some. We don't live together,
All right, but what if she was there? Would it apply to her,
so
or does she get a pass?
that's actually different, right?
Okay,
Because for
has
her,
boobies.
yes and no.
Be like,
I mean, I'm pretty sure any couple, if anybody's cooking and they want to have the kitchen to their space, your partner walks in just like, hey, what's up? You just turn around, like, hey, just like, yeah, true. But it's different between me and her, right? Because for her, she's not really into cooking, but she's really into the eating and the process of it,
Hmm.
right? So it's like, the one thing that we've agreed on is if I'm cooking something, right? She will stand on the offside. And she's like one of those people that just like wants to help. And she's like standing there with a spatula, just like, you need this? Just like, not right now, but so she's like sitting off the side, like, I'm aware of her presence and her presence is known and is accepted.
Gotcha.
It is not accepted when you just burst out of nowhere and just be like, hey, I'm just grabbing this real quick, interrupting everything you do. Just gonna move the salt to all the way over here. I'm gonna move the pepper. You don't really need the seasoning on there. And I'm just like,
Gotcha. When someone comes in and does too much.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Don't barge into the kitchen.
yeah.
Have to come to the kitchen.
Yes, I know. It's weird to say when we have a shared space. Yeah, I see your face. It's weird to say when we have a shared space and we've been living together. It's like married couple. Yeah, it is weird. And what I'm hoping for is me working through this is in the future, I don't have to have that. Because the one thing that will totally destroy that vision is having children.
Hmm.
Because they will come out of nowhere
Yeah.
and burst through.
This is why no one is allowed in my kitchen. Okay, because this is the only thing I can control. And if you come in here, I've got no control no more. I'm done.
Maybe you two should.
I have kids, and they are the ones that have. They just wreck everything when they come in the kitchen.
Like I said, right? Working through it.
It's just
So
yeah.
in
And
the
it's
future,
I have siblings that tortured me on purpose, so it's very different.
I had none, so I actually had to learn to share.
Oh no,
Hmm.
I never had a
And
thing in
that's
my
part of
life.
it. Because you're a only child, you just didn't really
Yeah.
learn how to share.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in all fairness,
I'm
I
not even a
just
therapist. You're welcome.
Good job, Connor.
Mm. uh
I'll send you a boom.
yeah, no, it will not be paid. Um, but no, I mean, yeah, it is part of it, but it's funny because I share when I'm out.
Hmm.
Like if I'm on a
But you're not cooking.
true, right? True. Like I will share anything. Like I will because that's how I was raised. I will literally, if somebody comes to my house because of where I'm from, somebody can come to my house unannounced
Hmm.
and I will have a plate of food set aside for you. That that's how I was raised.
I'm not a big sharer when it comes to food. I had an ex. When we go out to eat, she'd be like, "What are you getting? Because I want to try what you're gonna eat." I'm like, I'll just look at, like, why?
Funny thing,
Where would I eating?
funny thing, it's totally the opposite for me because I would actually go out and then I would look at the menu. I would know the person I'm talking to, I would know what they want. I know what I want. I know what they want. And they're just like sometimes they have issues
Hmm.
just making decision on two things. And I'm just like, okay, compromise. The second thing that you want, I also want. I'll take it. You
Hmm.
can take the first, and then we'll just share.
It,
See, sharing a meal. I'll share if we both want the same things or two of the same things. We communicate and say, hey, why don't we just share this instead of
Mm.
stealing your food off
y-
plate?
well, she would make plans, like she know what she wanted, and like, well, what do you get? Well, maybe you should think about this, or oh, it has that. Okay. I'm like, stop making plans for my food before I even get my food. And
They like steak, don't you?
So it's like, yeah, they got that really nice prime rib in there, you know?
I don't have problems sharing my food. I mean, it sounds like I do, but like if I'm gonna order whatever I order and like you want some, yes, I will share some. But before I've even looked at the menu or I'm looking at the menu, you're making plans for me already to share my food before I even decide what I want. That's
She's your
a small reason. There was bigger reasons, but a small reason.
I mean, you know, that's
I feel like you just looked at us. You were just like, this is not a room I should be in right now. Like everybody in here
we
is
got
crazy.
time for one more question. Actually, I'm not gonna keep you guys all night. Well, we could go for a while, but
Mm.
actually, we can take a quick pause for the cause to do our quick sponsorship. This show is sponsored by me and nobody else. I'd like other people to sponsor it. So if you want to sponsor the show, go ahead and shoot me a message or send me an email. Also, once again, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you hit that like button. If you guys are watching right now, we greatly appreciate you guys hitting the subscribe button. If you do, a special thing will happen on the screen, only during the lives, not on the replays. And hit that like button as well. Let us know what you guys are liking, what we're producing over here. And also, this is the number one podcast within a mile of where we're sitting right now. So you guys should be honored to be watching this. Just letting you guys know that. Number one podcast.
He's keeping us here in the basement. He's keeping us here in the basement. Help us. Somebody call the cops. Somebody call the cops. Sir. Please. He hasn't given us any food for 3 days.
Back in your cage.
My brother would have done the same thing.
All right. So our last question of the night, we only got through one of the questions. Would you ever do OnlyFans? And how much would it take to convince?
But it's funny when what
Uh-oh.
happened last week. Somebody got let go from her job, but we were having a conversation at work. Not OnlyFans, but she out of nowhere. Would you ever sell fake pictures? And I was like, I thought about it
I
because
would.
it's money, and I'm like, you're not doing anything crazy. It's just feet. I mean, now the people you would be involved with a little crazy. OnlyFans is too far.
I think you can keep your anonymity selling
Yeah.
feet pics.
Yes, as long as you don't have any tattoos on your feet, any indicators of your feet. Yes.
All right, so I should get into that.
I mean, they want all feet of all different types. So
Do
just
they?
saying,
Mm.
yeah,
Big
Yeah.
men's feet?
and you don't
Yeah.
have to say it
I mean,
either.
there is a wiki feet.
Yep.
Yeah.
They rate
Wiki
Mhm.
feet.
feet? Wiki
Yeah.
feet.
There are
Huh?
ratings
Yep.
for best feet and celebrity best feet,
Yep.
casual news.
Looking that up?
Immediately text phone, just like what?
I was laid off a few
Your
times.
phone
so-
explodes. Nothing.
There's some things they ask
Yeah.
you to do, like step on cake or send me your socks or
Yep.
get a manicure.
Or just wear the socks the entire day, go to the gym with it, and then send
Yep.
it to me in the mail. It's
Mm.
just like, but see, that right there is also a little bit like, to me, I don't think I would go that far
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, it's like sweat is still your DNA. They can't just find out who you are. Technicality. But in regards to your OnlyFans thing,
That's too far to go.
You wouldn't? What if you
see,
were down on your luck?
Hold on, correction.
oh,
Because some people have OnlyFans that actually do not have any content that is sexual of nature.
that is true because the platform
What
is
do they
not
have?
sexual of nature.
Because it's meant for people who are fans of you. So celebrities will go on there and release songs that they've never released it.
Yeah.
And things like that. Pictures of their homes, like and
OnlyFans is basically like Twitter. It's not it's not supposed to be used for
Mhm.
porn,
It's
but
what they do.
yeah, exactly.
It
It's
was.
no okay.
No, because the creator, he had one or two other sites before that that were basically OnlyFans. I wouldn't even say Prime because OnlyFans is the Prime. They were the startups basically.
Yeah, see,
It's meant for amateurs to be able to do what the professionals.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yep.
I guess I can
Killed the
start
porn
this
industry
out.
basically.
Yeah.
I guess I can start this out, right?
There's feet of the day and feet of the week.
Helping.
Yup. And people pay
You will buy
really
your
good money
Amazon
for it.
list. It
Yep.
doesn't have to be feet oriented.
Yeah.
We'll
No
buy your
idea.
Amazon list.
Literally.
This lady who did it, she made $30,000 in a month. I don't know what she did, but she said her first month on there, she made $30,000. Now, I would really like to know what she did because that's a lot of money, but I feel like she did more than just show her feet.
I mean, in all fairness, like if we go with, what would you do on, if you're down bad, like how far would you go? It's like selling feed pictures is like, yeah, you're anonymous for it, right? And yeah, you can make money for it, right? But how far are you willing to go if that doesn't, pay your bills?
That's always the question because you start off and you're like, this isn't working, but that kind of works.
Yeah, maybe I can break off into it. I'm already there. It's like, but then out of nowhere, you're getting flown to Dubai and just having some dude making you eat like a 12-course meal so you can do something terrible to him in the hotel room at night. And it's just like, I know.
And with that, we've gone too far.
See? I mean, but like, okay, so here's the thing, right? This is one of the questions that I've always gotten. It's like, would you be willing to date somebody who does OnlyFans?
Nope.
Right? But then at the same time, it's like if you're not willing to date somebody that does it, why would you think you could do it yourself and still be okay in the dating world? Right? So it's like,
I couldn't date someone who did it, and I wouldn't do it.
Even if they just did their feet.
That's fine.
see, that's the level that he would
Yeah,
expect.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking ankles now.
Yeah. Anything above the ankle.
Yeah, I mean, there are some people that are on OnlyFans and it's just like, oh no, I'm anonymous. Every time I do it, I always wear a mask.
Mhm.
It's always covered. Nobody knows who I am. I don't even put my real name on there.
Such a thin line. You show one freckle, one mole. That could be the end.
Yeah, very true.
It's
But
just feet.
No,
no,
I mean
OnlyFans.
feet.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
There's a police officer, a New York police
Yeah.
officer who had an OnlyFans, and they found out, they fired her. It's like that's your whole
Wasn't she
career.
showing her face though?
She was showing her face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
See,
what I mean is like even it like
going to be a
they
detective?
didn't
No, that's
know.
stupid.
Right. But like someone was like, wait a minute, you're a police officer. Like they connected lines and
Now, see,
your career.
at that point in time, it's not a question of why did she do it. The question is, what was the dude that found out? What were you like? Was it an anonymous tip, or was it like somebody was watching us? Like, she arrested me 3 years ago. Just like,
But the deep dive that they had to do to find her out.
exactly.
These are the crazy people that you could find on OnlyFans, and this is why you shouldn't do OnlyFans.
You guys watch Black Mirror?
Yeah,
Yep.
I love Black Mirror.
You seen
Oh,
any
yeah.
season?
No, I really want to.
Listen,
You
no.
haven't seen Black Mirror? Wow.
It's a really good show.
It's an amazing show.
Oh, I've heard good things. I just never got into it.
I think that was kind of the first episode, but it was a little different though. Did you see it?
I've seen every
I
episode.
feel like I tried to watch an episode the other day and I didn't make it through.
It's if you start with season 1, episode 1, it's hard to get through. But
You have to
Yeah.
you have to skip around sometimes. They're all
Yeah.
it's episodic.
Yeah.
It's like Love, Death, and Robot.
Yeah, it is.
There are a handful of episodes that are some of the best episodes because they connect to things that we go through on
Yeah.
a regular
Yeah, I've
basis.
heard.
True.
Like the Netflix one, I think I talked about it
Yeah.
last time I was here. There's one where this lady signed up for Netflix, didn't read terms and
Term-
terms of agreement,
Yeah.
which most of us do not read all of or understand it. They turned her life into a show in real time.
Yes. I feel like
You might have seen
yeah.
this episode is very clear on like we all sign
Yep.
to be on Google, to be on
Saw that
anything. We
one.
sign, we say
Yeah.
agree, and no one reads it.
And now, even if you say no, I don't agree, and you try to skip it, they don't
can't
let
get-
you
Yeah.
because they're just like, yeah, no, you have to agree to
Mhm.
the entire thing. It's like, but why? It's
But
just
you're
like,
not actually giving me an option.
yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
You want the product. You
But
sell yourself to us.
but
Mhm.
see, that's the thing though. There used to be an option where you used
Mhm.
to skip it, like what, maybe a decade ago.
I don't remember.
I think-
Yeah,
Or what do you, to 2010 maybe?
yeah, exactly. Right. But now it's like,
You've got no option.
yeah, people I don't feel like
Yeah.
reading this entire 12-page essay. Just like
Yeah.
agree and go.
Someone
It's lawyer speak, anyways.
because even if you did read it, you wouldn't understand it.
Mhm.
And someone printed out, I think it was Snapchat, and it was like 12 pages long. And all you do is scroll and agree. But also, if you look at what's happening now with AI, right? There's this AI my cousins were telling me about where you can write a movie, put it in there, and it creates all the people and everything, dialogue, all of it. And these people look like us sitting here,
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
identical. They get the likeness though from other people who have free images and things like that, and builds based off of data that's already out there.
Yeah.
It's just crazy because we all sign up for these things.
Mhm.
Man.
And the other part on OnlyFans, you create an OnlyFans for people to pay, and then people get it and put it out for free. Stupid. Don't do OnlyFans.
Oh man. It's actually really funny because all those parts is like, some some models on there, instead of putting their bio, they literally put like, I think that one addendum to the law, just like, if you use any of my videos or
Don't steal
pictures,
my
I will.
content. Like what?
Yeah,
This is the internet.
yeah, like they will literally put just that addendum in the bio and just be like, yeah, if you steal it, I will go ahead and sue you. It's like,
That said that you no longer own these images.
yeah, the platform does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like,
And good luck finding me.
yeah, it's a more like, that's how some Twitter pages are just getting banned because the same model is like looking at it and it's like, wait, hold up. This is all my stuff.
Mhm.
So how did they get it? And then now they just post it on their own Twitter. Go ahead and report this page. Banned. I'm just like, but you agree to it though.
Yeah.
You put your body online. So doing OnlyFans is definitely like a no.
Right.
But there has been some instances where it's just like, if you're down bad, how far would you go for it? Like,
I'd do something else. I'd find another way to make money.
true,
Same.
true, very true. Like, you definitely have multiple different options out there, but keep in mind, not everybody thinks the same way that anyone in this room thinks. They might think just like, I have a laptop, I have a webcam,
Why not?
it's just like,
Some people don't fully think out an idea, the moral aspects of things, like what could be good, what could be bad.
Right.
it's either what's the shortest, what can I get money on like the fastest, and is there any consequence? After consequences, I'll be fine.
It's
Man, we
it-
could do that with everything. And like literally it's like, oh, it's about like dating, like, like the first person that you're like that says that you swipe right on and they say yes to that too. It's like you could go into that too as being like, oh, quick fix, quick fix. And it's like
Mm.
usually shallow and whatever.
Something too, talking about dating apps, even if you disable your account or don't use it, suspend it, they still can use your profile for promotional use. Saying, hey, oh,
hey, so unsubscribed. Can't see who it is though, but thanks for subscribing.
Brianna White. Yeah, Brianna White.
Brianna White.
Yeah, she's the friend of mine.
All right,
Yeah.
Brianna, this is the way. Get someone else subscribed too.
uh,
Don't do it, Brianna. Come and help me.
Hey, if you donate, you see something else on the screen.
Don't donate.
Seriously.
This reverse psychology is great.
No, don't donate. All he's gonna use it for is,
Only
head shiner.
yeah, they if you're on a dating app and you put up a profile, you suspend it, or even if you deactivate it, they own your image because you signed off on them keeping your information. So when they promote their site and say we've got 50,000 people,
Or those ads on like gamings, like those little mini ads that you go
Yeah.
through. Like, yeah, all of those people's pictures. Yeah, you agree to that.
so you're out there. It's just a matter of what you're signing up for. So if you sign up for OnlyFans, you're gonna be out there forever in the wrong ways.
Mhm.
I have seen many posts of OnlyFans models seriously saying, well, this is a day in the life of a former OnlyFans model going back to the workforce. It's just like, what are the like 5 cons of me going back to the workforce? And one of them is they always say, well, people recognize me and sometimes they don't want to give me a job.
Yeah.
Or they'll try to give me a job, but they'll think that because I did that content,
Yeah.
they'll try to take
Liability.
advantage of me
Mhm.
or liability type.
Strings attached.
Yeah. And then
Let me see my office.
and one of the most common things that I've seen for them is like the money.
Mhm.
Like it's just like going from making 60,000 a month to making 60,000 a year is terrible. I'm just like, what did you used to do before OnlyFans? Because you making $60,000 a year is like that's a regular entry level office job.
Yeah.
So what did you do before then before you chose to go the route of OnlyFans?
Mhm.
It's like, eh.
And the other thing is, it has an expiration. You could be on there for a year and make 70, 80, 90,000 that year, and then you've already been out there so long that no one is going to subscribe anymore.
Yeah.
So is it really worth it?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But then see, that's when they go ahead and just like, well, I've been on OnlyFans model for a year.
Mhm.
You know,
New
I
stuff.
don't, I don't think it would be that bad to go into the porn industry. And it's just like, but why?
And that's why the people that own OnlyFans also have other things.
Like they promote stuff on their like quote unquote safe for work Instagram. It's like, hey guys, this is my facial Instagram. But it's like, girl, I just saw you shaking whatever you were shaking 2 minutes ago and 2 Instagrams ago. Why? But like I said, it's different people, and you're just over here just like, I don't think I'll ever do that. Yeah, but people try different things, I
Yeah.
think, in life, and definitely have consequences for it. They don't think about it,
Mm-hmm.
and
I'm not ever gonna I can't say that I wouldn't date someone who did it, but I would not think of a long-term relationship with them.
I can't.
Not
Oh, I date someone who do it.
You said you would?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like as long
Oh,
as
bank
like
account.
all yeah. Yeah, no, it's not that like again, like if they're doing it as safely as possible. Like I ultimately want it to be a safe like way of
your life doesn't
yeah, I
affected by what they've done.
right, exactly. Like there's no stalkers, there's no one that's like, doxing them or anything like that. But like yeah, it's like if they enjoy making money that way, it's like cool. Yeah, I obviously can't because I'm a therapist and
Do
I
you
am
care what they're doing on there?
not really. I mean, it's just in terms of like if they feel comfortable doing that, then that's for them. Like I might not be.
And that's why I say I wouldn't not date them, but I just don't see the long term.
Okay,
I just
so
I think it depends on what they're doing.
that actually
I'm like,
brings
what's your
up
line?
yeah.
Yeah.
His is above the ankle, apparently.
See, that's my question to you, right? It's like how what's your limit to what they're doing content wise that you feel like you're gonna step in and you're gonna be like, okay.
First, it has to be anonymized.
Yeah.
Be showing your
And
face.
personally, I don't want to see the content. And
Yeah.
But
it's
Oh,
see,
I
my
want to
no,
see
no,
it.
no,
safety.
no, no,
I
no.
want to
It's
see it.
not that you see it, but you're still in the space where they shoot it though. Like you can know what they're
That's
doing.
true.
Like you
It
can
is
hear
true.
it. Yeah, like you can hear it.
I don't see, yeah, there like there'd be certain lines I wouldn't want to see what you're doing, or I wouldn't want to be involved in what you're doing. Like this is not going to be part of my life.
Just like, hey babe, could you hold the camera real quick while I take this picture?
Tripods are for babe.
It's like, no, 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 no. Like I'm taking this like wide angle zoom in shot. Just like, go ahead and help me out here real quick. Just like,
No,
there's a
we'll
remote for
purchase
that.
the equipment for that. Yeah.
Was it so like you were saying, right? So what's your limit?
No, no. See?
Anonymized
I
apparently.
I don't know, honestly. Like, I don't know. I'm thinking like, is it something I can be proud of? Probably not.
Mm,
Can I look at you in the face can I look at you in the face afterwards and still feel like you're worthy of respect?
Yeah, I'm with her on that. The respect level is not
that is very true. That's like you just went ahead and you looked like a dumb person looking up at the camera for somebody who tipped you $5. You're supposed to respect you and give you respect after that. It's just like, hey baby, could you pass me the water? You want $5?
Get up, get
Exactly. Like, I mean, I guess there's different limits to different people. Personally, for me, I think I wouldn't be dating. I would never date somebody who does OnlyFans for two things. Yes, the respect is there, but at the same time, I have no sexual desire to actually look at somebody and just be like, yeah, I still want to have sex with you after all those contents. I'm just like,
It's like
no.
50 million people have
seen.
access to you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why would I?
The
It's nothing
ultimate.
Even if they
special.
haven't seen her face, you still feel that way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And she hasn't done anything with them.
still no for me. Because I
It's too
think
much access. It
too
sounds like
much.
It's not real access.
it's not.
It's not real access, but do keep in mind, right? How many times are you gonna look at them in the face, right? And then they're gonna be like, I want you to tell me that you love me. The only thought that's gonna be popping into my head is, how many times have you looked into the camera and said something like that to somebody?
Mm.
And then what's happening in your body to cause you to have that intrusive thought over and over again.
Yeah.
And then that means, is that something that you're willing to work through, right? Is that a feeling of jealousy that you're willing, or not necessarily jealousy, but like a thought from your body feeling a certain way about it? I'm just gonna like therapize the shit out of this right now.
Be my guest.
Yeah, it's like you have the like, and to what you've mentioned of like, how can you, is the jealousy worth it sort of thing? And so in that point in time, if you're like, me navigating this thought in my head is too overwhelming every time that they're doing this content, then yeah, you can be like, this is not for me. But if you're wanting to be like, I want to be with this person and I want to figure out how to regulate my system through this potentially, and that feels okay, then like, sure, you can totally go through that. But like for a lot of people, it's like, no, that's the cutoff. Like if I'm spinning about this, I can't. But like you have to.
That's why I said if I don't see it, then I'm,
But
I'm
see,
probably gonna be fine.
that's the thing though. It's like, even though you don't see it, there are different style of content out there on OnlyFans. You might not want to see it, but one day you're gonna get a call. Hey, babe, I got arrested because I was doing some content in public.
Mm.
Can you please bring like
Click.
$2,000 to the police
Uh-huh.
station 2 cities away so you can take me out of jail? And by the way, the judge says that I'm gonna be on the list from now on. So
What are they not communicating to get to that
Yeah.
point though?
There
See,
you
that's the
go.
thing. But
Yeah, but you
see,
could be
But
near
see,
a playground,
yeah,
and that will
Well,
put you
But
on
shit,
notice.
why?
what?
You didn't
yeah,
know that?
exactly. People
If you
have
do
like,
anything sexual near a playground, that'll
No
put you on
shit.
notice.
Why would you do that?
Right.
Because
Like,
people are weird.
there's a few people that have done that. Like
yeah,
Well, I'm sure, but like,
Twitch, all of them.
yeah,
They've gotten
certain
banned.
things don't need to be said. Come on.
yeah. But
For some people, you wonder sometimes.
yeah, but at the same time, it's like
That's why they have warning labels on the back of bleach, because someone try to
Yeah.
drink it or put it in their eyes.
oh yeah, but
Tide Pod. for
Yeah,
that.
Oh
that's
God,
Oh my
stupid
God.
kids. But see, that's the thing though. It's like, you don't want to know their content, you don't want to know anything, but at the same time, it's like, how far are they going?
See it. I don't want to visually be impacted by it. Like, you can talk to me about it. We can talk about your business. I
No,
just
I
don't want
want
to
to
be
know.
So, so
Yeah.
you, so do you see it as a business instead of a something that they do? Because keep in mind, people do have 9 to 5 jobs,
so.
and they still do it.
I see it specifically because you have to also plan, like the extent you have to go to actually have an OnlyFans is you have business. You have to
It's very
profit and loss.
intentional.
Yeah. So
Mm.
I see it as a business. I don't support a lot of businesses. Can't pull down somebody.
What if it's black owned?
Give over the fact that people are paying to
Right.
look at them.
Porn is free. It's been free for a long time before OnlyFans. So I've been told.
I'm sorry. Have you forgotten that technically the most popular like website, Pornhub, actually has a Pornhub premium?
Yes, and
Like
people
what
are
people
paying,
pay,
and I still don't understand.
like they're paying for the premium, and it's just like, why?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand it. So I will never pay for an OnlyFans, but keep making your money. It's cool. Want to make your money? Yeah.
All right. So before we wrap this up, because we can go on all night,
With
I'm
this
sure
topic,
people want to
yeah,
get home.
Yes.
dear Lord.
So to my quick little 2 cents about this OnlyFans stuff in there. I have an ex who did OnlyFans. This is before we broke up before OnlyFans was even like a thought in this guy's mind.
What? You said
Girl,
guy.
you said guy.
The guy who made
Yourself?
it. The
Oh,
guy who made the
Oh,
I didn't
we broke up
understand. No,
this is years
yeah.
ago when we broke up.
does your father know?
But anyways, no, she tried to get me to sign up, and it took everything inside of me to not like to be nice about it. Yeah, I was like,
Wow.
you
After
do
you broke up?
know.
Like, was this at a date?
No,
Like,
no.
wait, no, like, did you ask her out on a date, or was this like
We're just
through
talking,
text?
talking through text. She was
Oh
like,
hell
"Oh,
no,
I don't know the exact conversation, but it was basically like, oh, by the way, I've got an OnlyFans. Do you want to join?"
no.
And I was like, "Are you stupid?"
That automatically cancels out me wanting to date you because you just saw me
No,
as
no, this
They
was
had
money.
already
yeah,
dated.
Yeah,
we were broken up.
Oh,
This was yeah. And I
no.
was just
no,
like, "Are you
So
stupid? I've seen you naked. We
no,
had sex." And I
I
was
don't
like,
have to pay for
no,
"There's
this.
nothing,
no.
You're
I,
not a
nothing new there. I
virgin?
haven't seen already."
You're not a
They're
virgin?
asking for you to get the premium.
You just ruined your life.
I mean,
Like,
it's at the same time
mission
though.
accomplished.
I think it's at the same time where now in this digital age and digital era where people have like videos and pictures of like it's like swapping pictures. It's like regular, but somebody like if it's like your ex coming, but it's like, hey, you want to sub to my OnlyFans? It's just like tomorrow, just like
Better
no,
chance of asking, "Hey, can you send me $5?"
no, no, no. It's no,
She have a
but
better chance of saying that.
true, true. But at the same time, it's like you also have some couples out there, some couples that have broken up that literally one of them does OnlyFans and goes back, just like, hey, do you mind subbing? Somebody will literally respond, not as nice as you saying tomorrow. I literally, yeah,
Oh, it's subscription
Subscribing.
based. So
subscription,
Oh.
yeah,
once you
Yeah.
subscribe every month, it takes that amount out of your account unless you cancel
Yeah.
it, which is
yeah,
also crazy to me.
Mhm.
yeah. But it's like tomorrow. I have 3 videos and 20 pictures of you. Do you want a copy of it? Because I don't need to sub to actually see you. Just like,
Uh,
well, just for an example, it's like,
Never delete the pictures.
oh my delete the pictures, children. Okay, that is a criminal. That is a criminal offense. Okay, if you actually share without that person consent, it's a criminal
I'm just
offense.
saying when they send you something,
It's still criminal offense if you share it though.
Share the phone.
right? They're like,
Do
"When
not.
like, yeah, I got that. Of course, delete it. It's gone.
Yeah.
Totally gone."
No, don't listen to him. He will get you. No, no. But yeah, no, it's like
Go in with the thought that it will never be deleted before you hit send.
Pretty
The,
much.
the safest bet. Yeah.
yeah. See, that's why I always tell people, and that's why people use Snapchat all the time. And Snapchat has always had a feature of if you take a screenshot, it notifies the other person you took a screenshot.
Yeah, there's apps around that.
There is.
There is apps
I
around
mean,
that,
you can
but
also just take a picture of
With
the phone
another
with
phone.
another.
yeah, there's that too. But at the same time, it's like almost every other person that I've dated is just like, hey, can I send you a picture of me at work? I'm just like,
Can I
At work?
send you?
Did you
"E-
say at work?
like they will literally go into the bathroom and just like, hey, just like tease. I'm just like, don't do that. It's like, why? I'm just like, I have this thing.
Yeah, why are you
If I
saying no?
The reason why I say no is because if
Mhm.
I can't have it physically while I'm there, I don't need the pictures. I don't give a shit for
They
it.
asking you. That's so strange to
Yeah.
me.
See, they ask me because it's like you say, right? You just met me today, and you think I'm weird and scary. Most people who date me are just like, I don't know if he's into this.
Oh,
Clear,
they're
I'm
trying
not
to.
afraid of you. I'm afraid of what your reaction might be one day because of how you feel and react to certain things.
That's fair. But at the same time, some people are, nice and respectful and they don't want to just like be overly sexual when they're dating you. So they want to just be like, okay, so what's the limit that he's at? Is he okay with
Testing.
pictures?
Mhm.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I'm gonna send you this, don't open it while you're around your coworkers.
Sending it in the daytime then. Send it in the evening.
I got no
Please.
problem with that.
I'm just
I,
go
I
ahead.
know you don't, Sean.
Like if you're gonna say don't open it around your coworkers, you know I'm at work. There's a possibility. Send it
Man, I
later
still
then.
rubbing my hands. Go, "Ooh,
Look,
what she sent me?
look,
Because
It's like Christmas in July.
anybody could see it. I'm just saying.
look,
It ain't
listen.
my body.
I've had people
And
send me these pictures and then I looked at it and I think I've had a reaction like mentally
oh, Arby's
and
again.
hey yo, no. Arby's, we got the meats, the flaps,
Roast beef.
the flap, roast beef. I'll let your brother explain it to you. I don't think I'm no, 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 no. The Arby's beef represents your taco.
Ah,
Okay.
You get that,
we'll,
Sean?
we'll talk off.
Yeah, but like yeah, like I've had people send me stuff like that, and I'm just like, and afterwards we had a conversation about it. They're just like, yeah, I don't send you stuff like that anymore because your reaction was totally lackluster. I'm just like,
Yeah.
yeah, because I don't.
Or mm,
It's lackluster because I would respond. I was like, oh, nice.
There are some people that enjoy them and some people that don't. It's just
And I'm in the category where just like I don't really enjoy it. Like if you're gonna tease me in person, but don't tell me to wait 8 hours until I just like no.
Oh,
that's even all the more reason. All the more reason for her to send it while you're at work because that's part of the experience.
That's part of the tease.
Exactly.
yeah, I like a little nice build up, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
And you and
It's
your
because you're
need
shoving
for
everything down.
control
You're shoving it
and
down.
your
To be able to
suppressed
handle it.
anger.
Ooh. Well, okay, so here's the thing, right? If you're gonna tell me, you know what, I want to tease you a bit, I'm gonna be like,
I'm not going to tell you I want to tease you.
it's
I'm
no
going to
longer a
tease
you know,
you.
tease.
you
Yeah.
know what?
It's not a tease.
Okay,
You're telling
okay,
a tease.
let's just say this,
I don't
right?
know. Sometimes
I'm
I feel like it's a tease when I tease.
yeah, just like if you send me something that's like, hey, I can't wait until you get home, and I'm gonna be like, can I get off the rest of the day off? Like that's gonna be me. I'm not gonna wait. I'm literally gonna get off work and go home. I'm
Money comes
You need a
first.
promise, not a photo. Like
Nope. Finish that shift out.
finish that shift out, really? So you want me to finish that shift out,
I
right?
would.
Let the anticipation build. Where is your self control that you
There
said
we
that you
go.
have?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
good
You
point.
you got a fair point.
Mm.
I guess I do
What
need to
what if
explore.
she sent you a picture of her in some nice lingerie in the kitchen, chopping up some
In your
carrots?
kitchen.
If
Oh
she's
my.
chopping, if she's chopping off the carrots incorrectly, oh Lord. Like,
You laugh, but that's actually a thing. Like I'm just like the only thing I'm gonna respond is like, hey, look, listen, it's actually the claw method for the cutting
yeah,
because you're
yeah,
gonna cut off your fingernails.
yeah.
Please don't. But see, so that's the part where, yeah, I do need to explore more of that and just let somebody do it, right? But at the same time, it's like, yes, that control is just a fun need for me. And I do enjoy that aspect of if I'm with you and you tease me, I can actually do it to you and it'll be more fun of back and forth. But that's just That's just a me thing.
It's fun to be like, oh, but I wish I could, right?
Yeah.
Like that's fun
That's-
to message back
Yeah.
to be like, oh, I wish I could do this, but I'm at work, so that's.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm gonna tear you up when I get home. Don't you just done did?
Yes, this is what your brother says.
No, probably a little bit more vulgar.
Little brother, he was like, it's weird to hear you talk. Like, sorry. I didn't tell you that. That was probably him in real life.
Yeah, no, but fair enough. I guess that is another part of, yeah, I definitely do need to let it go and just let them do what they need to do. But
Let them
at this,
express themselves.
yeah, fine.
Everything can't be on your terms.
I never said it can.
It
You're still
feels
controlling.
like it. Really feels so. You require a lot.
Thank you.
That's
I know. I didn't say that. Fair enough. But yeah, I I will allow somebody to have that space as long as they pass that certain point where I know I can trust them.
Mm.
Like I will allow them to express themselves. But
Trusted him.
allow. I'm
Back.
stuck on the allow part.
All right, we can't go all night. I'm loving the conversation, but unfortunately, we cannot go all night. If you
Sean, this
guys
is
are
no longer your podcast. So what we're saying.
if you guys are enjoying the content, make sure you guys let us know in the comments. Drop us a like and a subscribe. I've had a hell of a night tonight.
If you're a therapist and watching, hit this one up.
Do not do so.